We're at Grouse Something Shelter. We've got a roof over our heads without having to set up our tent tonight. There's a fireplace over here, and we have a picnic table. So I think we're going to just set out our sleeping pads and get under our sleeping quilts and cozy up underneath the roof here and sleep in here for the night. So it's perfect. So good first day out on the PCT back here in Oregon.
Are you glad to be back?
I can't tell you how glad I am to be back.
Yeah, me too.
Here we are in the treacherous Oregon mountains, hiking through dangerous snows in the high mountain territories. As you can see, it's almost impossible to get through here in these deep snowy ruts. Melissa and I are at the California-Oregon border. We just hiked down from Ashland and we just hit Oregon. Hey baby.
Good morning.
What you doing?
Working.
Working? Hard at work?
Sure.
Writing in the trail register? Anybody from 18? There, 2018. There's some. Look.
Oh yeah.
So there are some 2018 hikers. We're not the only PCTers out here.
Started March 4th. Hiked the desert section, now flipped to Ashland to go south. Oh, exactly what we did.
Yeah. You have to say you're about to turn it on.
I'm about to turn it on. Okay, I just turned it on. It's been, or actually, I already bit on. Now make a wish.
Okay.
What was your wish?
My wish is that you get a lot better at photography and videography.
Not gonna happen.
So this is the trail this morning. Can you see where the path is? Me either. Let's see if we can find it. You see it? Nope, me either. Wait, there's some path. Oh yeah, all this vegetation we're tromping through is sopping wet and thorns and cuts at your ankles. Whoever's in charge of trail maintenance in this area. Oh, hey, section of trail. Whoever's in charge of trail maintenance in this area is apparently taking the spring off. So we'll get nice little sections like this, and then we'll return to sections like what you just saw. Doing good, baby. First one across always gets to take the video of the other person falling. It's one of the perks. You did it. Nice. Not sure what these are, but they are everywhere.
you doing?
I'm okay.
What's your day been like?
Well, we just crossed some very sketchy snow fields, had to don our micro spikes and take our time and get across those, and now we have a big snow field that we're getting ready to cross again, so I don't know if we're going to need our micro spikes or not. Depends on the angle of the snow.
Where's the trail? We don't know. That's the thing.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
How are we going to find it?
We're not sure.
Okay.
GPS or blind luck.
What if this is your last message? What do you want to say?
I want to say thanks for watching, and I love you, baby.
Oh, for me? Well,
Yeah.
I already know that.
I know. But
Okay.
Then I'm telling you.
Sure. Okay.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Here Melissa and I are walking down the road in the Klamath National Forest. We're finally to the road. It has been a long 36 hours. Would you agree, baby?
Yeah, it's been so long. We've been through hell.
So we're not on the PCT right now. We're hiking down off of the PCT. We hit a wall of snow and ice yesterday. It was just completely impassable. The slope was probably 70 to 80 degrees and, you know, way beyond the skills of a couple of Texans with some micro spikes in their pack. You know, you'd need to be a mountaineer to get through them. So we had to backtrack a long number of miles and then find a trail to get us down to the road. So now we're walking what is actually a closed road in the park, hoping that the rock slide that closed it won't detour us and keep us from getting down. But we're still trying to get ourselves back to civilization, and now we're going to try to find our way to Etna. So we'll see what happens, but we're pretty well beat.
We're still happy to be here.
We're still happy to be here, though.
We don't know
Don't
why.
you forget it.
We're crazy.
We did escape the Marble Mountains and the Klamath National Forest. We made our way out of the forest and down to a public campground where we found help in the form of a family that took us under their wing and gave us a ride out to the town of Etna the following morning. After arriving in Etna, we ran into a park ranger that advised us that hiking from Etna south was also impassable and that we should try to get to Mount Shasta to resume the PCT. We were scrambling to try to figure out how to hitchhike our way to Mount Shasta, 62 miles away, when lo and behold, our friend John of John and Chris magically appeared at the bed and breakfast where we were collecting our resupply package in Etna. We had not seen John since the desert section of the PCT where he and his wife had been section hiking. John lives in Oregon and had traveled to California to help his brother with some work on his property. He had swung through Etna on the off chance that he might run into us. His brother lived close to Mount Shasta in a town called Weed, and John quickly scooped us up and drove us all the way to Mount Shasta. Talk about trail magic when you're down on your luck. We were really lucky.
So this is our pet deer, Matilda. She came up out of the woods after we got some water and we're setting up our camp. And she's followed us all around our camp, and periodically she stops to eat in the bushes near us. But she's like she's completely domesticated and has no concern about our presence whatsoever. In fact, this is our tent, and Melissa's 15 feet away, and I'm about 10 feet away from Matilda, and she could care less. I can talk, I can call her. She's just hanging out with us. But I'm getting bitten up by mosquitoes, so I'm gonna cut this short. You hear that sound? That's not rain coming down. That's the popping of the electricity running through all of these lines. It's like an electric rattling, or like rain coming down on a tin roof. baby. What's that behind you?
Bernie Falls. Hi.
Bernie Falls?
Sure.
Wow, that looks pretty impressive.
How far do you have to hike to get here?
Forever. How tall are the falls?
128 feet.
I heard it was 129.
No, that was wrong. I measured it.
Yeah, you can never trust a park sign.
How deep is the pool?
It's deep.
How deep?
Really deep. I don't know.
You don't know.
I didn't really read the sign.
22 feet.
22 feet. Well, anyway, we're here at Bernie Falls State Park. Those are the falls. They're beautiful. We're having a great time.
Hey baby, where are we?
We're in the middle of mosquito land
Why are we here?
because we love mosquitoes.
Oh.
We're close to Mount Lassen. We're in the middle of a volcanic rock field from apparently the explosion of Mount Lassen about 100 years ago that spilled rocks 40 to 50 miles away. And we've been walking over lava rocks and rocky terrain from the explosion for probably the last 30 miles, and we're probably still another 30 miles from the park.
I would like to sit down and eat a snack.
No snacks.
Why?
Why do we want to stop and eat a snack?
I'm very hungry.
No, we're not
tired.
hungry.
Very
No,
tired.
we got to make big miles today. That's a beautiful lake behind us. Where are we?
In California.
Well, to narrow it down, we're actually in Lassen National Park. We just walked through a 7-mile burn zone, but we finally walked out of that area, and now we're actually in the wooded forest, and this is a beautiful lake here in Lassen Park.
Yeah, and we made record timing, so I was hoping we could sit down
Slow
and eat a snack.
And instead, I view it as Melissa slowing us down and keeping us from reaching our intended goal today. So we'll go ahead and eat our snack on the road. Doesn't that sound great,
See?
baby?
And then he also makes me brush my teeth while I'm walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the way it is. You gotta keep your teeth clean.
Okay,
Love you.
bye.
Bye. Bill, here we are by Drake's Bed. Unfortunately, they closed, or they opened on June 8th, and we're coming through on June 4th. So we've missed the opportunity to take advantage of the amenities and all that the place has to offer, but we wanted to capture this for you so you would always have it. Here in the foreground is the hot spring-fed pool, and then the main ranch house is up front, and then all the side cabins all around. Hope you enjoy it. This is the terminal geyser at Lassen National Park. It's not really a geyser so much as a steam vent, but it shows you the active volcanic activity all under this area. The steam pours out of the hole here and out vents extremely hot water into this creek bed. You can see the steam rising up off of the creek bed too. It also reeks of sulfur. And after taking this video, I'm gonna reek of sulfur. So Melissa and I are climbing down into Belden today, and all of this water you see flowing everywhere, where it's flowing, that is the trail. This is the path that we just crossed to get down into Belden.
scare you?
You scare me?
Uh-huh.
You surprised me.
I've been waiting for you.
You've been waiting?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for you my whole life.
Well, I'm right here. How's your day?
It's good. I'm here with you. Sure.
I don't know.
Here we are together.
Maybe.
Maybe. I think you can turn it off now.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Melissa and I are by the top of the ski lifts at Squaw Valley Resort, and we just came from that valley down there, and it's a pure ice chute coming up here behind these rocks. And then, as you can see, we had to scale this, and it was probably at about a 75 to 80 degree slope much of the way up, climbing up this snowbank to get up here to the top. We're glad to be on ground that's not covered in snow, though we still have a ton of snow ahead of us and a little bit more climbing before we get up and over the top. So it's been quite an adventure this morning. It's beautiful out here, but it's been quite a bit. Melissa and I are scaling the snow at Dick's Pass, and we're almost to the top. We got a couple of tents more before we reach the top, but the views are incredible. The snow hasn't been too sketchy thus far, but we still got some climbing to do, so it's time to put the video away and focus on trying to get ourselves safely to the top.
Yes, please.
Having to skip from the Marble Mountains just north of Etna down to Mount Shasta, California, added significant complications to our plan to complete a continuous footpath of the PCT from Mexico to Canada. Melissa and I were undaunted, though. After completing the rest of Northern California and finding ourselves back in South Lake Tahoe, we made the decision to flip back up to Etna to complete all of Northern California before entering the heart of the Sierra Mountain section of the PCT. We arranged a car rental for a week and drove to Mount Shasta, where we had arranged with Tony, the local trail angel and California Highway Patrolman, to leave our car at the police station. We then hitchhiked up to the Etna area, and lucky for us, our last hitch was a guy named Derek's, who lived near the Marble Mountains and was very familiar with the back roads. After describing where we had to get off the trail due to snow previously, Derek's knew right where to take us to allow us to resume the trail exactly where we had left off. This put us in perfect position to hike southbound the approximately 115 miles back to Mount Shasta, where our rental car was waiting to return us to the South Lake Tahoe area and where the Sierra Mountains awaited.
Here we are at the scene of where our southbound trek through the Marble Mountains the first time really started to unravel. This whole area was covered in snow, and this switchback running up here was covered, and we couldn't see it. So I assumed that the trail naturally continued this way, right up this hillside by these trees where it looks like it does, but it doesn't. And I took Melissa a good way up this cliffside, which was all covered in snow, in an effort to try to climb up to get back on the trail, which didn't exist that way, because we should have been going this way. So we finally did figure that out and climbed back down from what could have been a dangerous situation, and then climbed this series of switchbacks up here to the top. So I'm going to turn this off now, and we're going to go up and see what's up on top now, since there was a sheer ice wall the last time we were here about a month ago. Okay, here we are at the top of the series of switchbacks that proved to be our undoing as we were trying to get through the Marble Mountains southbound to Etna. This was the last summit that we had to clear before we would descend down into the town of Etna and continue southbound. So like last time, we came up here and saw that the trail went off here to the right. The trail stopped about right here, about 5 feet from me, and all of these rocks you see now were snow. There were no exposed rocks. It was just a sheer wall of snow and ice. Obviously, a month of sunshine does wonders for what a trail looks like, but you can get a sense of how steep the slope is here from the rocks that descend down off of this cliffside. So when this was covered in a sheer sheet of ice descending down into the valley below, and all of these rocks below, needless to say, Melissa and I, with a pair of microspikes, were not comfortable trying to traverse this section. So we're gonna cross it now, and looks a lot better today.